Hey guys, Bert again, back here for another Q&A. Hope you're having a great week. This week's question comes from Jordy from Virginia Beach, Virginia, my hometown where I was born. Hey Jordy. Jordy says, I have full access to my grandparents' property just a block off the boardwalk. Ooh. On a side note, do you know 17th Street Surf Shop? That was the coolest store in the world when I was a little kid. That's when skateboarding was big in the 1980s. Anyway, so you've got this property a block off the boardwalk. You continue to say they don't come down much anymore. I'm assuming that means your grandparents. And I told them about my Hammock Haven rental accommodation idea, and they said go for it. Okay. I used them when I was in Mexico, and it's a cost-efficient way for travelers to access popular, expensive locations. We have room for 20 hammocks with rain roof above and waterproof privacy curtains. An outdoor shower is in place, plus outside access to toilet and sink just inside the house. Travelers bring, rent, or buy their hammock, and they can also rent a towel and a bag of toiletries. Coated fire pit in the center of the backyard, surrounded by circular seating. Sounds really nice. And you continue to say this is a new market for the U.S., but I could see it spreading. Can you assist me with the details of launching this startup adventure? Absolutely. In fact, yes, this idea is new to the U.S. I've not seen or heard of any in the United States, but I do know for certain that these sort of businesses are international. And a lot of international travelers do like this approach. It's just cheaper, and it's sort of like a hostel in a way, meaning a place where maybe people under 30 years old can come meet other like-minded people through their travels and stay in a pretty cool little space with 20 hammocks. So I really like it. So yes, I can assist you with the details of launching this startup. There's probably a lot to discuss. The good news is you've already got the zoning established. You've gotten the okay from your grandparents, and I believe that without knowing all the details here, I really think you can get this business started for not a whole lot of money. And of course, you want to throw some bells and whistles on this business. The cost is going to go up, but what you want to go for is MVP, which is minimum viable product. Okay, having 2 hammocks to start, as long as the hammocks are getting used, great. Eventually, yes, scale it up to 20, which is what you have room for. But there's a lot other things that you're going to need to take into consideration as you build this. How are people going to find out about you? Right? So there are tons of travel forums and hostels that you could form relationships with, directories that you could put yourself on to try to get people coming in. However, as somebody who has been backpacking through Europe a few times in their 20s, me, I will say that you start to learn about cool places to stay from talking with other travelers. So perhaps you can have some sort of a strategy around this by getting your current tenants, let's call them, to spread the word about your business. And then it starts to catch on. Hopefully, if you can get that component going, you won't have to spend a whole lot of money on marketing. But aside from that, yeah, all your basics, to set up your brand, all that's going to be very important. Definitely setting up an entity like an LLC or a corporation is something to consider too, to protect, the assets of yourself or your grandparents. Looking at insurance policies, etc., probably a smart idea. I really think this is a really cool concept. So I think that with some strong PR, public relations, you could probably get some media attention from this because it is something that's new to the U.S. So we'll talk more, Jordy, on our coaching call. Jordy's getting a free coaching call because her question that she submitted last week was selected to be read by me. and answered this week. So if you'd like a shot at a free coaching session, or if you just want your question answered, fill out the form here below and we will reply either via video, and if so, you get the coaching session, and if not, you get a response via email. So it's win-win-win all the way around. Guys, have an incredibly productive week. I'll talk to you next week, and submit your questions right now.